Bitcoin was trading briefly below $100,000 yesterday, and now we are rebounding back to the upside. But is this now a sustained move into higher levels or just a dead cat bounce? That's what we're going to talk about today. Let's go. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in here today on this Monday. So really quickly before we go into the charts, a major announcement. I was talking about this briefly, that there is something cooking between me and BloFin. So, and while I have partnered up with them already, now one of my course programs actually is now for you available absolutely for free. So you can go here and go to the self-paced course. That is the one that you can now access absolutely for free if you sign up on BloFin with the link in the pinned comment below and in the description. Deposit at least $100. If you deposit at least $100, you're gonna get this course for free. And what you have to do then on top of that is there is another link. You have to go and fill out this Google form here to access the course. So first of all, sign up on BloFin, deposit $100, then fill out the Google form, and then we're gonna send you login credentials to get into the backend of the website so that you can actually access the course. Because if we don't have your email address, for example, then we cannot send you the login for this trading course. And I do this because a lot of you guys have asked me in the past, hey, can you not make like a course for free or something like in this direction? We really want to learn from you. And now I decided, you know, why not sign up on BloFin, deposit $100, and I will give you access to that course, which, by the way, when you look at it, has 52 video lessons, over 100 hours video material, 107 quizzes. So there is a lot of knowledge condensed that I have accumulated over the last more or less 10 years that I'm in crypto. So like I said, everything is described in the pinned comment below and in the description. Just follow these steps and then you will be able to get access to that. Now, I want to have a brief look here at oil because oil was today breaking out as expecting, delayed breaking out. Now we are pulling back here again a little bit. So what we need to see here is that we are breaking below this downward sloping trend line once again, and can then say this whole area was just a deviation, to the upside. And now we are actually coming lower. But this will only happen if we see de-escalation in the Middle East. Only then this will most likely be happening, that we trade here below like $70 again for oil. The DXY was moving here also to the upside. I talked about this yesterday, that I was expecting something like this for today. Now also here the dollar is currently pulling back. I think something happened just right now. Potentially in that conflict, because Bitcoin pumped, dollar is pulling back, oil is pulling back. So while I'm recording this right now, I cannot go and check what actually happened, you know. So because I want to keep going here. Now, if we would today already fall back into that bearish pattern here, into that bearish pennant, that would be amazing. Into that bear flag. Most likely by tomorrow we would get continuation here then into lower levels once again. When we go to the Bitcoin chart here on the daily chart, so first of all, I mentioned yesterday I would like to see a daily close above that trend line here to validate this potential M pattern. So for now it looks like that we're doing that. At the same time, a bounce with the current daily candle here to the upside. Here $104,000 is one of the major levels to look out for. I'm gonna explain you here in a little bit on other charts why that level is so important. But on the RSI, you see already we are pointing massively to the upside. So there could be right now somewhere a catalyst being released that is causing that pump for Bitcoin. So then let's see how high we actually can go. But I can tell you a short-term hold will come around the 50 moving average. So and that could be here at around $105,400 approximately, where price will in the short term stop and reverse back to the downside. Basically between 104 and 105 here on the daily chart. On the hourly chart, we see a V-shaped recovery forming up here. Currently, we are trying to stay above the EMA ribbon. So if we can manage to do that and close here in 8 minutes the candle as it is, we're most likely going to come back into this support resistance flip zone with continuation into higher levels to complete this reversal V bottom shape pattern. So you see here there is also a neckline, and you can measure then the target. The target would be by textbook definition all the way up here at $109,600 approximately. But for that we need to get above $104,000 here. Again, another point why we have confluence around this level, that we in the short term could get there first a rejection before we go actually higher. Also the $105,000 level, there's not only the point of control from the VPVR, but also the most traded area, the most historically on the volume profile. And that usually also will give us major resistance to and stop us to go higher here. So what will most likely happen here, the same what you see on a reversal V pattern textbook definition, you come up to a certain level, get a pullback from there, then you get the continuation. So and I see the same potentially unfolding here. And then funding rates are partially negative or neutral, which is really good because that gives us fuel to actually push into higher levels here for Bitcoin. Is a sign that we are definitely having the fuel needed to reclaim here major levels. So when we look then at liquidation levels, here on the liquidation on this 4-hourly chart, you see here below us there is a little bit over leveraged long liquidity, but not really a lot. It's basically here people that came in these 3 candles to long Bitcoin there. And the majority of liquidity here on the liquidation levels is currently concentrated at, again, $104,000 to $107,000, and then all the way up around $110,000, $111,000. You can also clearly see that here on the liquidation heat map. Here to the downside, everything was swept. There's not really a lot there anymore to push price lower, but here at $103,600, we should trigger a short squeeze, at least to $105,000. If we would able to manage to push higher, then we would go as high as $107,000, $108,000 really fast. But as you can see, here is a small void in here. That's why I think that we're gonna go up to 105, then turn around, consolidate a little bit, and then we're gonna see another push into higher levels. And then here long term, definitely $111,000 is the target with the prior all-time high up there. On the MDX Algo scalp gradient, so here something happened that I love to see, and what I just mentioned yesterday. Yesterday when I was streaming, some of you might recall that we had this dot plot here just showing up, and the second one was not there yet. So if you would have waited for that, and you would have also the same indicator, somewhere in this candle came the second dot plot, and you would be up now massively on your Bitcoin trade if you would have entered there. So look here, that would be a 1.6% move if you would have caught it earlier, because I don't know when that dot actually showed up. Oh, actually it was already here. It was here in this candle. Oh no, it was here in this candle. Yeah, so let's say it showed up here, then you would have been up now 2.5% plus the leverage that you use. So potentially you would be up 25, 50%. Or something like that with that amount of leverage. We are also coming out of a green phase, so which is good, and that's why you see now why I did not trust here these reversal indicators on the gradients. Remember, go back, look, I said I don't like this because usually a downtrend is followed, and that downtrend is the real one from where we get the bounce back to the upside, and this is exactly what was unfolding here in front of our eyes now. So on the daily chart, so I get here more and more confident in saying that this Elliott wave count has now found its 2 here in that golden ratio at $97,700 to $98,900 approximately, because we stepped here almost all the way to the bottom of the golden ratio, and bounced straight back up from here. So that might be now the 2, and we're gonna see in the next couple of days if that will be actually now come into fruition, where we see price rallying here to the upside and breaking this down sloping trend line. So once that trend line is broken, we know we are now in the third wave of the Elliott wave count and will go into a new all-time high. The Bitcoin dominance is breaking to the downside. That is expected. We talked about this yesterday, that first of all, we're going to get a breakout if Bitcoin starts dumping, and that that's what we saw in the last 48 hours. And then by today, that things are starting to reverse back here. So, but we need a move to like at least 65% or even lower than that to come back into the rising wedge pattern, start breaking it down, and start moving here to the downside. because this was here now potentially the cycle top for the Bitcoin dominance. At least I hope so, that it was that cycle top. On the total free market cap, the $778 billion level has held as support. Also here we were talking about this, that this candle from yesterday needs to close above that level, and yeah, by a hair we actually did, and bouncing off here right now. Here what we are looking for, or what I personally look for, is first a reclaim of $817 billion, and then where I get extremely bullish and easy mode should be back for us is when this downward sloping trend line of that overall parallel downward sloping channel will be broken at $855 billion. If you want to trade altcoins with me together, guys, then do this on Bybit. On Bybit, you still get up to $30,000 in sign-up and deposit bonuses. And also the course will be in the future available if you have a Bybit account, but not right now, so right now it's only BloFin, but it will come, so if you cannot sign up on BloFin, try Bybit. And there is also a link in the pinned comment below and in the description below if you want to do that. Now, Ethereum is breaking back into that support resistance zone here. So I make this right now for a moment white. We were talking about here the $2,176 level yesterday. So that would have been a sniper entry if you would have caught that with a limit order. Now we are most likely going up into the point here, the point of control at $2,520. Also here again, 12-hourly chart, most traded volume area. That should give us resistance. I don't see us immediately breaking through that, but at least coming up here, which is also then a V shape. Then again a pullback, and then you get the continuation in direction of $3,000, because the indicators have so much more room to go to the upside. It's not funny anymore how much room we have to go here. But like I said, around 2,500 to 2,600, we're gonna struggle a little bit because we have so much past trading history now here that will act as resistance, that it will be tough to get through this unless we get like a God candle and it just keeps sending. Solana, let me go here to a 4-hourly chart. So also here, the falling wedge pattern here with the dashed lines is playing out. So I had lined out here a trade where you could have entered here at $133 before this candle now basically started going to the upside. You would be not too late for the trade setup if you do it right now, if we're still around the same prices. But let's say 137, between 133 and 137, I would still enter this because you are still looking here at 13%, 13% profit to $155 approximately for Solana. Because also here you see the RSI is flying, the MACD printing already green candles, stochastic RSI also flying, the daily chart here just prints a buy signal on the stochastic. MACD turning around, and the RSI sharply going to the upside. So there's also bullish divergence currently playing out if you were wondering what's going on there. So here, if you want to play it safe, the safest way to trade Solana right now would that you would be waiting actually for this downward sloping trend line here also to be broken before you enter this at around $144, but then you miss out on like 6-7% of that current move already. Now I have actually to go forward because I did hear something earlier and then my video did not record the way that I wanted, so I have to get this all back now. So EGLD, one of the best performing coins today. And why is it performing so well? Because we created here a low where we have not been in a really, really long time. And there was massive support. So here, this is right now a buy because we are above that downward sloping trend line. If we are now in this candle, go straight to this downward sloping trend line here, which is a multi-week downward sloping trend, there I would not enter anymore. That might be a point where we get rejected and we want to prevent to enter trade basically at resistance. So, but here currently this downward sloping trend line, if we close the 30-minute 1-hourly candle above that, becomes an entry here, at least into that trend line all the way up here. And then you have your stop loss at your entry, and then you just wait and see what's happening. If we break through this, if we come back down and then go up, so whatever happens, you just wait because your trade is now risk-free and you can just wait it out, wait it out, see what happens. Why is not only that trend line, but also here the $14.51 level important, because that's where I would take my profit. So even if I would enter this right now at $14.55, I would be out. So why would I be out? Because there's an order block. That's why I have this up here. And this is part of a new course that I'm recording here in the future, in a month or two, and also going to give it away for free. So an order block, what happens in an order block is you have here a certain area where price was consolidating and then get an impulse move to the upside. And then when price returns to the order block usually acts as support. As you can see here, order block reaction back to the upside. Here, slow pullback. We had here slow pullback, you know, and then we bounced off and got another impulse move. So, but then the more often you retest this order block, is the same with like a support level. At some point it gets broken. It happened here. Now this order block, the top side of the order block should act as resistance. That's why we get out there, unless you're gonna raise your entry here all the way up, you know, so until like $14, and then you wait it out, you know. So if you get lucky, it just keeps going. But if it turns against you at $14, you're out, and walk at least with something away. Here was the next one. Oh shit. Okay, I have to do it quick on the fly for you guys, because this is all gone what I had here before. Here we have also this downward sloping trend line. We are really close now to breaking this. So once this downward sloping trend line is broken, we're looking at another 3-4% right now. So once this downward sloping trend line is broken, that's where you want to enter. So that's where you want to enter, and then you trade this, say, would be broken here. Then you trade this into here, 35 cents. So 35 cents, roughly a 20% move to the upside with like a 6% stop loss is absolutely fine. That would be my trading setup here on Sonic, because Sonic is today also one of the best performing coins. And on the daily chart, there's so much more room to go to the upside. So just look at this here. MACD turning around by tomorrow with a buy signal, stochastic already going here up, and also the RSI pointing here massively to the upside out of massive oversold conditions. Guys, that's it already for today's episode. I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget, you get the course absolutely for free if you sign up on BloFin, deposit at least $100 with my link, and fill out the Google form so I can actually send you the login credentials to that course. So learn trading, learn how to do it the proper way, and just sign up on BloFin and deposit $100 there. Guys, thank you so much. Don't forget, smash up the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification button, and I'll see you with more money tomorrow.